All right, good day everyone. This is the part 19 of the Dart series, Dart from Scratch, for beginners that we're actually learning. In this video, we'll be talking about collection. Yes, collection. All right, what is collection? Collection is another group of data type. We've learned about integer, which is int, double. We've learned about string, boolean. We've learned about some basic data type. Yes, but now we are moving to some of the video I made mention that there are more data type than this basic one that we've learned. There are more that we're still going to learn. Now we've get to a state to learn some more data types which are in need, which we are going to be used while writing our code, while trying to build our application. All right, this data type called collection is actually a type of data type that allows one to actually store more than one data, multiple data into a single variable. There's no way we learn data type that we didn't get to know about variable, because data type actually goes along with variable. It is the data type that tells what type of data that is being stored in a particular variable. Yes. Now, while storing data inside variable, whenever you have any of these kind of data type like list, like map, set, these are the collection type of data type. Do you get? When we have any of these type of data type being used, then that means you want to have a variable that store multiple values. A variable, just one variable that store multiple value. That's just what it means. That's what the collection data type is. And the three data type that is in collection data type that is in that is the list, the set, and the map. In Python, there are more. We have list, we have tuple, we have set, we have so many data type in Python. I think in other languages we have as many as possible, but that's the one I can actually remember. This kind of data type is very much closer to Python. That's one I'm actually relating it to Python. When it's closer to another language, I've made mention of a part closer to PHP, another part closer to Python. Even the all these other data type that we are declaring, not really data type, but kind of the variable declaration, which is var, constant, which is const, and dynamic. They are similar to the one in JavaScript. All right. Not to waste much of our time, let's just get right into it. And we've mentioned about what is the data type and why are we learning it. Just to be able to store multiple values inside a single variable. There will be instance whereby we want to do something like that, very certainly. Yeah, and most of the time it will be happening like that. And yeah, lastly, how to get it done. Yes, that's what we want to do. Let's just head right into our bin folder and create our file and call it let's say collection. We can say collection is collection actually. Let's say collection underscore. Then in collection we actually want to learn list in this video. I hope we could be able to cover list data type. I hope we could be able to cover the whole the whole list, because there's so many things. In some of our video we learn about what we call a string, then later on we go deeper into string. Yeah, going deeper into list is why I'm saying that I'm not sure we are going to be able to cover up everything finish. All right, let's say list data type. All right, okay, this list data type, it will be a little bit different to the one we've been learning, all those int and the likes. There'll be some slight additional things to it so that it will be able to work the way it's supposed to work. But let me compare one more thing. In other programming language, for those who are actually coming from another programming language background, list is just an index array. We call it array. Like in PHP, we call it array. Yes. List is equals to index array. What it means that it has index, and what index means is a hidden number that you could be able to use to target a particular value. You know, when you line up as, let me say, student, when student line up, or while in school, maybe primary school or secondary school, when you are on the assembly ground, even maybe soldier, and they are counting them from the front. They'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, they'll give them number. Do you get? Yes. And later on, when is it number 5? The person that carries number 5 knows that is the one they are calling. That is going to say yes, sir, something like that. That number actually, on a normal human being level, those we start from 1. Though that's what we call index. That number assigned to them. No, they have their name. You get it. You get each and every soldier has their name, but they give them number. Then in normal human level, we start from 1. But in computer, we start from 0. We start from 0, whereby we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, where the number is going to end infinity. No matter, that depends on the data. That depends on the number of the soldiers that actually stand. That is what's actually happening here. That's why we call it index array. All right. Then the second one, which is set. Set is non-index array. Yeah, that one do not have index. Yes, it does not. There's no way you can target it by index because there's no index. We call it dynamic. Sometimes they call it dynamic array. Some people also call it some kind of name. There are different names people give to it on ordered array. Do you get? That is that set. Then the last one, which is map, that is key value. That is, we call it associative array in PHP or some other programming language. We call it associative array. That is an array that has key and value. Do you get? Key and value, like a tag. Let's say that like those soldier now, they have tag. They may be tag for each of the soldier. We have NP222, MP271. You get, that's their tag. That is different from index. Index is a serial number. Tag is dynamic, is unique, and it can be dynamic. Depends on whatever who designed the system or who actually designed that number for them actually want it. All right, I'm taking much of our time already. Let me quickly let's do something so that this video will not just be all about talking. All right, we have something called list. That's it. You know, definitely we always declare our data type first, and after that, that's why. Okay, should I jump right into that like that, or should I just flow? Okay, let me just flow like this. Let me flow like this. We have list normal on a normal diagram. We have data type. If it is int, we say int. If it is boolean, we say boolean. But now it is list. Then let's say something we have like fruit. Yes. In some cases, we might want to store fruit inside many fruit inside one variable, so that when we call that variable, we're able to have like all the fruit, like, you know, just like a basket. Yeah, you know, when we're talking about variables, in some of our video, we said like drum, like bucket, we pour water. You know, it is only water that can be inside it. But something like a basket, I mean, something like a basket can store multiple things. It's not just ordinary one fruit. It can store either one thing or multiple things. Like a fruit basket now can store multiple fruit. Something like that is what this array is all about. All right, then when you want to store data inside it, you know, you'll be thinking something like, let's say apple, comma, banana. Yeah, banana. Then say they have carrots. All right, then D, maybe do you have any fruit like D? No, I can't think of D now. All right, we have these 3 fruits inside a basket. No, you can see that it's throwing error. Number 1, the reason why it's throwing error is because you didn't wrap this with the square bracket. Whenever you see square bracket like this is an array. This is a list. We call it list in Python also, and we call it list here. let's use their terminology. All right, fantastic, that's it. Then what is not there is we've declared a list and absolutely everything is fine, and we have fruit, but there's something missing actually, which we are going to come back to come and talk about this. And you can see that we now no more error. We could be able to store multiple values, multiple things inside one variable. Now you see that it's no more throwing error. And if we come to our terminal and we print, I'm sorry, and we do that run inside the bin folder, and we have collection, we have list data type, all right, dot actually, and we see that it's going to print this guy out. But if you hover on this, look at it, it's telling you that this is a list of a dynamic. We already know dynamic data type. This is a list of dynamic, whereby the data that is there, it is dynamic. Are you getting it? Yeah, there can be integer inside, there can be float inside, and there can be any kind of data inside. But if you want to enforce yourself, you can see that when it says it overlay again, you can see that it puts angle brackets. You can see greater than and less than, and it put dynamic inside. Yeah, which we can do the same thing and says string. We only want this to be string. Yeah, then if you come and add another data here like 1, you can see that it's showing error. But if you turn it to dynamic, you can see that there's no more error. Yeah, that's just it. Dynamic can take multiple kind of data. That's just what it means. Then if you say string, string can only take one kind of data, which is only string. That is the difference between these two. Yeah, we should have added what we call loop in this video tutorial, but we are not going to just jump pack everything together. That's why we are learning it a step after the other. Let's understand the whole collection, which is the list, the map, and the set. You get the set and the map. Let's understand that tree. Then once we understand that tree, then we'll now move to loop, definitely, because there's no way we are going to talk about loop that you won't talk about list. That's why we are treating this collection for. We are treating collection first. There's no way we are going to talk about collection loop that we're not going to talk about collection. That's what I mean. All right. Okay, we can have dynamic. Definitely, if you don't declare, definitely it's going to tell you it is dynamic. But if you want to enforce, you can enforce, and you can also do int. If you put in, that means it's expecting all this one to be integer. That is what this is all about. And you can see, we can just say, because everything is string, we can just say string, and we could be able to print it out. All right, that's it. Okay, yeah, we can clear the terminal. All right, we can have another list. Actually, we can have another list. We can have empty list. Yes, we can have empty list. Let's say scores, and we can do empty. Yeah, it is possible. And when you hover on it, you see that it is still dynamic, unless you now enforce the data type and say you want int. Unless you force it and say you want int, do you get? You can have this, which means any data that is going to be going inside this is like it has to be int. And you can actually do, you can now say scores, the first score, which is from index 0, equals to 120. The scores of index 1 is, let's say everything is 100. You can say 20. You can say 10. You can say score again. You can say score of index 2, sorry. And we can say 80. Yes. And definitely we can print scores. Okay. And let's run and see. Okay, it's telling us that we cannot do something. Unhandled value range, blah blah blah. Yes, the reason why it's actually bringing this error is because we don't tell it that it's going to be growable. Yes, what it means is this is an empty, but the another method we're supposed to use to add data inside it is through its function. Yes, we can use function, something like um, add. We can use something like add and the like, something like that. But let's see if that is going to work. We can say scores dot add. We can add 20. Let's see. Let's clear and let's see. Let's see if all is good. Yeah, the add function is actually working. Let's see if we can add more. Scores dot add. We can add like 50. Let's say scores again. We can add like 10. The 10 we can add 90. Then let's say scores again, and we can add what can we add? Let's say 70. Let's say 10. All right, let's see. We should be good by this. All right, fantastic. We are able to add, but we couldn't do the index assigning. Do you get the function? We're able to add into it, but we couldn't do index assigning. There's another way we can actually define an empty array, and this one too, we can add more to this. Let's do that. You can see that we have apple, banana, carrot. Let's add something like mango. Do we have something like fruits? Fruits, yes. Of index, we have 0, 1, 2. Let's say index 3. I'm not really sure he's going to take it also, but let's do mango, and it's fine. Run. Yeah, he's not taking it also. There's a reason for it, but when I got to the second phase, I'm going to show you the reason why it's not allowing this. All right, yeah, we can just make use of add also. Add function, we can do dot add, and definitely we can add mango. All right, let's clear a little bit. I hope we are getting this, we are understanding this. Then when you are doing add function is going to append to the back. You know, this is from the front. When you're starting from here, we count from left to right. Definitely that's English for us. Then we have 0, 1, 2. You get, it's going to be continuing from after carrot. That's why it went ahead to go and add mango behind carrot. All right. Okay, there's another way we can actually declare a an empty we can say something like counts. Is it count? And it comes like count. Yes, counts is okay. And we can have it to be a list of empty. Yeah, that is it. A list of empty, and you can see when we click it, the IntelliSense is telling us already that the variable it is true. And we have variable true, we have variable false. At default, the variable is false, which is it cannot grow. That is what it means. But we want it to be growable. Then you say growable true. We want it to be growable. Then if we want to count, you can say count dot add. We can add 1 to 3. You can say 1. Sorry. You can say count dot add. We have 2. We can count again dot add 3. Let's just stop there. Or should we add one more? Let's stop there actually. All right, let's scroll down and we can clear this and we can run and see. Oh, sorry, we are not printing. Let's print counts. Print count, print function. Let's print counts. I save. All right, clear. All right, 1 to 3. You can see that we have count. We can also do this. We can also do this. Then we can also fill. Do you get? There's another function called fill. We can fill with data, maybe zeros, maybe ones, maybe twos. I don't know. Depends on how you want to fill data inside it. We have another function called, let's say, list into int, and we can say we want to fill something like ones complement. Don't let us talk about that, but let's say we want to fill like ones or twos or threes or zeros. Let's fill, let's fill 9. Yeah, let's fill 9, and we can say 9 equals to list dot filled. And length, how many do you want? How many count of it do you want? Maybe I want 9 of 9. Then what do you want to fill? And we want 9 of 9. We want it to fill 9s inside it in 9 times. That's what it means. And oh, I think we are getting too long with this video. This is how we create we create a list. We can say print, and we say 9s. One more function before we go. Actually, we say 9s, and print, and we can run and see. Then we should have 9. You can see 9 in 9 times. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Then the last one that we should actually touch also, let's check the generate. We can also generate. Okay, we can say lists integer also, and we want to generate, what do we want to generate with? Let's say we want to generate multiple of itself, or multiple of 2. Yeah, multiple of 2. Then we can say list dot generate. Then what is the length? Maybe let's say 9 or 10. Let's say 10. Then what do we want to generate? Then in this generate, after the function, can you see? Let's see. IntelliSense will definitely give you int. Yeah, let's put it that way. You can see it says 3 inside an index. Then we can have something like brackets like this that says int index. That index will now have, this is arrow function. Do we thought about arrow function? Index multiply by 2. All right, then we can print multiple of 2. Clear. Run. You can see it starts from 0 because index, you can see it says index. It already know that we are talking about 0 upward. Then anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 1 million multiplied by 0 is 0. We know that one. That's mathematics. And you can see it starts from 0. Then the next one is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. The next one is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. The next one is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. The next one, that's how it actually gets to this number. I think this is where we'll be stopping in this video. In our next video, we continue from where we stop. We see more functions. We see the one we can actually add by what do we call it, by array function and the likes. We see different kind, and we'll be able to move along with it. All right, thanks you for watching, and do have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.